Kata is spiraling. Zach is scrambling. Dylan just pulled receipts on Kenzie like he's building a court case. And somewhere in the middle of all this, two people we all counted out are the ones actually winning. Episode 30 was supposed to be a breather after that brutal public vote. It was not that. Let's get into every messy detail. So Corbin and Parmita are gone, and the second they're out the door, Kata is already spiraling about the vote. Her big question. How did she and Zach end up in the bottom when couples like Casey and Titi and Anaya and Carl got saved? And look, I get being confused about a public vote. That happens every season, but the way Kata frames it is the problem. She keeps bringing up how long she's been in the villa, like tenure is supposed to buy her safety. Girl, longevity isn't loyalty. America doesn't vote based on a seniority system. Zach tries to smooth it over by saying, someone has to be in the bottom, which, sure, technically true, but also the most nothing answer possible. Kata's not buying it either. She keeps circling back to Casey, saying she doesn't understand how his connection got more support than hers. Here's the thing though. She says all this while also insisting that she and Zach know what they have, and that outsiders are missing something. You can't have it both ways. Either you're secure in your connection, or you're combing through every other couple's numbers looking for validation. Pick one. Zach's reputation problem. This is where the episode gets interesting, because Zach actually gets called out, not by a cast member, but basically by his own track record. Bryce checks in on him, and Zach admits he's stressed because he feels like the public doesn't like him. And honestly, that's not paranoia, that's pattern recognition. This is a guy who's talked about wanting to explore other options multiple times, who's been inconsistent with how much effort he puts in, and who's now suddenly acting like commitment is his top priority. Bryce, to his credit, doesn't just blindly hype him up. He straight up asks Zach if his mindset might be part of why the votes went the way they did. That's a real friend moment, not just comfort, actual accountability. And then Zach goes to Sincere for advice on how to level up, with Kata, wanting to date her exclusively but stopping just short of calling her his girlfriend. Which, okay, we see you trying to have it both ways too, Zach. You want the credit for commitment without actually committing. The comeback kids, Casey and Titi. Can we talk about the couple who's actually thriving right now? Casey and Titi were the surprise save of the vote, and instead of overthinking it like everyone else, they just leaned into each other. Casey opens up about missing Corbin, Titi checks in on how he's processing the vote, and they land on this really grounded moment of just trusting each other no matter what happens next. It's honestly refreshing. While half the villa is spiraling about optics and strategy, these two are just being present with each other. Sometimes the couples with the least drama are the ones actually doing it right. The secret mission quick palate cleanser here. The girls get a secret text with a list of covert tasks to pull off without the guys catching on. We're talking getting the guys to say specific phrases, sneaking a kiss on the cheek from someone they're not coupled with, sending a guy back for the wrong snack 3 times, and getting 2 different guys to give back rubs. Kenzie, unsurprisingly, lit up at 2 guys. Kata recruits Bryce for a glow-up session. It's silly, it's fun, and for about 10 minutes the villa forgets it's in crisis mode. Every girl completes her task, they all reveal the mission to the guys, and it's a nice reset. But don't get comfortable, because the real tension is about to come right back. Dylan builds his case against Kenzie. This is the segment everyone's here for. Dylan pulls Kenzie aside, still stuck on being in the bottom, and starts laying out what is essentially a pattern report. Sean, Caleb, Corbin, now him. Kenzie pushes back on some of the specifics, but Dylan isn't really asking a question, he's building a case. And then it escalates. Dylan brings up that Kenzie told him she'd bring him home to meet her family, and points out she'd said something similar to Caleb before that connection fizzled. That's the moment the conversation shifts from, I have concerns, to, I don't know if I can trust what you tell me. Here's what I actually respect, though. Kenzie doesn't fold. She doesn't grovel or promise to prove herself over and over. She tells him straight up, she likes him, but she can't build a real connection on top of distrust. And if he can't get to a place where he believes her, it's just not going to work. No begging, no over-explaining. She puts the ball back in his court. That's a mature response to a genuinely fair, if exhausting, set of concerns. Because let's be real, Dylan's not wrong about the pattern. But he's also had these facts the entire time and is choosing to relitigate them now, days later, instead of addressing it in the moment. That timing matters. The villa weighs in by the end of the night. the general vibe among the group is pretty unanimous. Everyone thinks Kenzie has already course corrected since movie night, and at some point Dylan needs to either trust her or move on. Even his own friends are basically telling him he's stuck on repeat. Meanwhile, Kata and Zach lock in their exclusive but not official status, which, sure, fine, we'll see how long that lasts. And Melanie and Sincere continue their whole future talk era, with Sincere doing a lot of talking about forever while they're still mid-season. So that's episode 30. One couple actually getting it right, one guy digging himself deeper by the minute, and one relationship hanging by a thread. Who do you think makes it to the end? Dylan and Kenzie, or is this the beginning of the end? Drop your prediction below, hit subscribe.